it's a dream, really. I never imagined I'd be working with all these actors all in the one movie. I mean, I think it's one of the greatest ensembles, certainly modern ensembles that Chris has put together. But that just shows you, everybody wants to work with Chris, and these actors will turn up because they love his movies, they love his writing, and he's an incredible director. So yeah, it was a gift for me every day. And also, when you wake up and you're, one day you're doing a scene with Matt Damon, one day you're doing a scene with, Ken Branagh or Emily Blunt or, Gary Oldman, you just, it's kind of electrifying, and you just gotta turn up the volume on your own performance a little bit, I think, Well, the way Chris works, there's no video village or monitors or anything like that, and obviously it's film cameras, so you don't see any playback. The first frame of the movie that I saw was the first trailer, and then when I finally got to see the finished film, it was completely overwhelming. But because there had been a gap between wrapping the movie and watching it, I suppose I had some distance. And to answer your question, I know I hate looking at myself. I don't really know any actor that enjoys the experience, but I found it. I was completely blown away by it. It's a truly essential cinematic immersive experience. Like Chris said, it's like 3D without the 3D glasses. Particularly in an IMAX, and I felt that. I would like to watch it maybe once more with an audience. For me, it's the best way to experience a film is in a darkened space with strangers, and you just, there's no interruption. You're not going to answer the door. You're not going to make a cup of tea. You're invested, and you paid your money. You got your snacks, and you're there. And there's something hugely romantic about it to me. There always will be. And I think what's extra special about this film is it's talking about the world. It's really digging at what it means to be humans and our responsibility as humans on this planet, and what we do with the power that we can harness. And in this case, this extraordinary and destructive and appalling weapon. And it's amazing. And I think it was Truffaut said, we go to films to escape from life, but also to learn about life. And I think this is one of those great films. It does that. It entertains, and it's incredibly entertaining. But it's also, it makes you think. Well, I think he's kind of the ideal director, right? Because he writes his movies, he directs the movies, he produces the movies. He's incredible visually, and he is extraordinary with actors. And it's very few directors have all those talents in one person. Have I seen him change over the course of working with him? I guess he's become more and more confident in the sorts of stories that he wants to tell, and I think he's more and more confident in making films, within the studio system that actually challenge the audience. And I've always loved that he's presupposed a level of intelligence with the audience. He always knows that the audience are smart enough to go with him, and he never patronizes an audience, he's never prescriptive or didactic in his movies. They're always kind of a challenge to you, and you need to work, but the reward you get for the work is terrific. And I've learned so much from him. It's kind of changed, it's changed my life, my creative and professional life, working with Chris, and I hope I continue. There's a universality to it that people connect with, and people understand the themes that are in this movie. And, there's big questions being asked of the audience. There's no answers being given, which I think is excellent filmmaking always. But it's also it's like a thriller. It's a love story. To me, there's elements of horror in there as well. For sure. So that just resonates with an audience. And I think the period setting, however familiar or not you may be with what happened in 45, I think you'll just be wrapped up in it. The movie grabs you by the throat, like from the beginning, and like you just don't take a breath, I think, from start to finish, really. Because we are now living in a nuclear age because of what happened then. I mean, he did change the world, and that event changed the world forever. We're living with the fallout of that ever since,